Welcome to
Every Day is Macaroni.
I'm Joy Alford Brand.
And I'm Juliet Connell, and we're the hosts of Everyday Macaroni, the podcast.
This podcast is a look at the lighter side of life, where we talk about our adventures as a modern blended family.
So sit back, relax,
And prepare to have your funny bone tickled. Hello, listeners. Boy, do we have an extra special treat for you today. But before we get started, if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to give this video a like, share it on your social media platforms, and subscribe to our channel while you're at it. That helps us create more fun content for you, our one and only listener. Now, for those of you who are new here, these episodes are based on the recordings of the weekly dinners I have with my husband, Ron, his sister, Juliet, who is also a co-host of this podcast, and their 80-year-old parents, Al and Lita. Well, listeners, get ready for a super fun two-part episode full of tasty treats with a generous helping of scandal for dessert. I'm just kidding. For us, it's a run-of-the-mill, regular old Monday night dinner where the food may be bland, but the conversation is picante. And that's spicy for those of us who do not speak Spanish, including myself. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into this episode, starting with an in-depth discussion of our most recent Monday night dinner meal, beef stroganoff. Enjoy! All right, how you doing?
Good.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Anything new and exciting? Caitlin's in London right now.
Caitlin's in London. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So watch out, Brits.
Watch out, Brits. That's funny.
Yeah. So she's having a blast.
Yeah, she's having a great time. I know she is. She's so lucky.
I know.
Oh, she's so lucky. We love international travel over here.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to be able to do sometime again at some point.
I know. Me too.
Now, as we embark on this recording,
Yes.
we are in a new era here. Ron has had a single chief complaint the whole time we've been doing these podcasts. He's complained about the volume of the clips.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
So it's a nonstop kind of,
Yeah.
you need to work that out. You need to put the microwave in front of your mouth.
Oh, this microwave?
It's big, as big as a microwave
I
almost.
know.
There. Okay.
Okay.
That's pretty good. All right.
Okay.
Because, I take the thumbnail for the YouTube video off of the recording.
Yeah.
So, Ron's chief complaint from the outset has been the volume of the clips.
Right.
Right? So, he talked me into putting the microphone.
Oh, in the chandelier. I saw
Right.
that the other day. I was like, wait, what?
Right.
Is that there?
Okay, so,
Is it working better? Can you
well, we're going to find out. Because this is the first recording, listeners, our one and only listener, where the microphone...
We have to have at least two, if not three.
Well, yeah.
They bring friends. You know that.
This is the first time I've had the microphone in the chandelier
Okay.
above the dining room table. So I really don't know what else to do except for directly wire everyone. And if we put a microphone on your mother, could you imagine? We'd be blowing out eardrums across the world.
That'd be loud.
Yeah, we couldn't do it.
We could all wear one except for her. And her.
Or you. No, the one person who needs to be mic'd at that table is your dad.
Yeah.
If we could just mic him, then it would have been much better.
Yeah.
So I've done everything I can think of in order to amp up the mics as much as I possibly can without drawing too much attention to it, because they get awkward.
Yeah. Then they get awkward, and then we all would get awkward. Then you start thinking about it and what words you're going to say and stuff like that. So
And
spontaneity's
the
gone.
authenticity of it is what's so great.
Yeah.
Is what makes it so fantastic. If you're listening closely, it's rare that a Monday night dinner goes by that somebody doesn't say something that's actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
And your mother, I got a couple of zingers from this one. There's a couple of good ones. So I can't wait.
Well, let's see. Let's see what it sounds like.
Okay, well, we will. Oh, are you yawning already?
I did kind of.
Well, we're going to get to it. But before we do, I think we should start off by talking about the meal.
The meal.
Beef stroganoff, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Actually, you guessed it. You guessed it, because I was like, what is this?
I was okay with it. It's not something that I would be like, oh, let me try that.
Well,
if it was just sitting there, I'd be like, oh, no. But when you ate it, it was pot roast with extra wide egg noodles.
You make it sound not that bad. It was...
It wasn't. It was
like
Juliet. Everything. It's kind of dry.
The meat was pretty dry.
It sits there, so they make it like at noon,
right?
1 o'clock.
Once a chef learns their technique,
I know
they always use it.
It's kind of like they're always surprised that we're there at 4. It's pasta. Why don't you put it in as we start coming in? That's only 11 minutes.
Well, it was some kind of wide, like egg noodle type thing.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Some sort of egg noodle,
and it was cooked beef. That they had cooked in some kind of sauce, which I'm not 100. They were aiming for a brown kind of sauce, but it was more on the gray side.
Yeah, it was like a gravy. I would imagine it's some kind of gravy, brown gravy or something.
And then they sliced up some mushrooms, and then they lumped the pasta on this big platter, and then kind of buried the meat underneath it. And then covered it all with a really generous helping of parsley from their garden.
I know. They're overusing that parsley.
Well, that's because they've grown a ton of it.
Yeah,
they've grown a ton of it.
It's grown quite a bit. Yeah.
Well, listener, it's been a while since I've done one of these, since I was fact-check shamed last year. You know who you are. But, I couldn't pass up the chance to learn something new and share a funny bit of information about beef stroganoff from this great website, bridgetomoscow.com. Now, according to their page on beef stroganoff, it's a popular Russian dish of small pieces of beef fillet sautéed in sour cream sauce together with onions and mushrooms. The dish was named after Count Alexander Grigorovich Stroganoff, I hope I pronounced that correctly, who lived in the late 19th century in Odessa. Now, there are 2 versions of the dish's origin. According to one of them, beef stroganoff was invented by the French chef André Dupont for the elderly count. And here comes the funny part. The count's teeth were no longer strong enough for chewing large pieces of meat. When I read that, all I could think of was Al's missing tooth that Ron joked was his corn shoot in, I think it was the Corns Made Me Do It episode. So funny. But there's more to the story, and isn't there always, right? Apparently, according to another more popular version, this dish was prepared specially for the guests of Count Stroganoff, he was wealthy and childless, and he would have guests and have something called an open table. Everyone could come and enjoy these dinners as long as they were well-educated and properly dressed. So beef stroganoff was a tasty meal that could be easily divided into portions. Therefore, it was ideal for such open tables provided by Count Stroganoff. And there you have it, listeners. So funny. Those folks were having intelligent conversation over dinner just like us, right? Sure. Anyway, super big shout out to bridgetomoscow.com for this great article, and we're going to put a link to it in the description of the website, of course. And if you want to see Al and Lita's version of beef stroganoff, you can check out episode 3 of Guess What's for Dinner on our Instagram account. And now, back to our podcast that is already in progress. So here's this big plate of wide noodles.
It was tons of pasta.
It was a
it
huge
could have
platter.
fed, I don't know, 15, 20 people.
Right.
And then they had sushi.
Right. On top, not literally on, in addition to.
Yeah, in addition to.
The beef stroganoff.
They
had 2 trays of.
For hors d'oeuvres.
Sushi, right. They had an appetizement. Of like 2 trays of sushi from the supermarket or whatever. Yeah. So I mostly ate that. I had a little bit of the beef.
Yeah.
I'm trying to low carb here. And I give them snaps for picking some kind of a creative meal.
Yeah, for sure.
To shoot for. But
I think everything would taste so much better had they not started at noon when we get there at 4. I mean, because then it just sits there. So even the best meal if you're eating it when it's been in the oven for
a few hours,
a long time, whatever juice was in it, whatever flavor was there, it's gone. And then the funny thing is that it comes out of the oven, but because they have it on warm, that's all that it is. It's warm. It's not even hot anymore. It's not served hot.
Except for that big helping of lasagna he gave me, which was screaming hot in the middle.
I was so happy.
It was screaming hot.
It was, yeah.
It was crazy. So, yeah, it was interesting. And then, of course, we're getting into multiple dessert season again.
Multiple desserts. Yeah, I know. That's not bad. Screaming hot lasagna and dessert. I'm happy.
Yes, but we didn't have... Screaming hot lasagna was a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I know.
And since that time, we've had a Mexican meal.
Mexican meal. We've had bread pudding.
Yeah, and
which was it was just wow.
Still. And the beef stroganoff on Monday with the sushi appetizement. And the dessert was like a pre-made, pre-packaged frosted brownie.
Yeah.
And that tiramisu type thing. But it's not tiramisu. It's like some type of a frozen cream dessert, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think they went to Lidl and got a little tiny cake. And it's like tiramisu-esque because I think it's not ice cream, but it's around that consistency, but softer. So I don't know. It's some sort of light cream.
It's very pretty to look at, but I didn't try it. Okay,
So enough of the food.
All right, enough of the food. There's so many things to talk about. For one thing, there happened to be a couple of very outrageous comments that your mother made.
Uh-oh.
I know. Well, the evening has gone on for a little while. We're talking for a little while. And they're from a different generation where my dad is this way too. We were talking about somebody we know and some of the life choices that person is making right now. And your mother had a comment that kind of unfolded over the course of a discussion about this person. And to me, one of the great things about getting together every Monday night is you never know who's going to say the outrageous thing. Sometimes it's me. Sometimes I say something I listen to it later and I'm thinking to myself, oh, wow, that's a winner right there. But mostly it's your mother.
Yeah, most of the time it is, yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah.
Okay. And so she had a comment about motherhood. All right. So I'm going to start with this tiny little clip where she's getting into it.
Well, we are very close to Mother's Day, still.
I guess Mother's Day is now just the month of May. Okay. So.
Well, he loves his mother, that's for sure.
He means well.
Okay, he loves his mother, right? She starts right there. We're talking about this person, and that's where my ears perked up just a tiny little bit, right? And then a little bit later on in the conversation, it goes on, and she says this.
I see him doing is a lot of things.
Is everything all his
It's a lot of things. Because if you love your mother, you don't go on drugs, you don't go marry this one.
Okay. And Ron's like, what? What's going on? That doesn't have anything to do with it. And then, of course, I heard it. I'm on the other side of the table.
No.
Wait a minute.
That's all they...
Wait a minute. But this was outrageous comment number one, right? If you love your mother, then you wouldn't do this or you wouldn't do that. I mean, in this day and age, we've moved on from that whole idea of you're making the family look bad. Right? I mean, I think so.
Joy, what's the final admonition?
Well, I certainly don't walk around thinking to myself, whatever my family members are doing is making me look bad.
Oh, no. I think it's not only generational, it might be cultural. I think certain things are lost when you leave maybe a country that...
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Where there are certain social norms that you practice there and that your family is from that particular region or whatever. So it's a little bit harder to kind of cross over, come here, and over here it's like no holds barred kind of thing, or whatever that term is.
But I agree with you. I think to a great extent that a lot of this is cultural, that there's that whole mentality of the family is closer in European culture, or especially in Spain or
especially
Italy.
when they haven't moved out of there.
Right, they're all living together.
Right, they're all living together. There are generational homes over there because homes are hard to come by. Forget about how much they cost. They're not there to sell.
Right.
Because they're inherited.
Park it in that house and they don't move for hundreds of years.
Right.
Yes.
So,
I was listening to it and I heard that comment come out and I thought it was very funny. I found that to be very funny. So that's outrageous comment number 1. Okay.
which, you know what's very funny about this whole thing is that I guess once it's pointed out to me, right, I totally agree. I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. But you being someone whose family is American, right? I wonder if that's why you noticed it quicker than I did, or you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. For me, it's kind of like, yeah, okay, she said it again. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's because I heard it always
growing up.
Yeah, and there was a certain expectation already there, right? Or some sort of underlying sort of...
don't get me wrong. We were raised, you got to respect your elders and you should respect your parents and that kind of thing too.
Right.
But I never one time heard my mother say, if you love me, you won't do that.
Oh, right. Well, you know that there are a lot of people who say that.
Well, sure, pack your bags. You're going on a guilt trip.
Right.
Right. Yes. Oh, yes. That's a special journey.
Yes, that I know that journey. I've been on that.
Right?
I've been on that journey.
Oh, boy. That was so funny. Oh, if you love me, you won't do that. If you love me, you'll pee-pee in the potty. Right?
If you love me, you'll do my makeup when I'm dead.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Believe me, I know.
Oh, no. It's not if you love me, you'll do my makeup when I'm dead.
No, it was more of a...
You are going to do my makeup when I'm dead.
You are going to do my makeup when you're dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's not even... She didn't even play the guilt card.
No.
No, she played the hammer card.
I did reassign that job, though.
You know, I am totally of the mindset that we should hire a skilled professional for that task. If we want to make her look her very, very best,
Well, heck, yeah.
it needs to be someone who that's
I'm pretty
what
sure
they're
she's
good
not
at.
going to be complaining.
You don't know.
I know.
You don't know. She could totally haunt you.
I know.
That is funny, and I still can't get over that. I think about that a fair amount. Yes, you are definitely going to do my makeup when I am dead. I couldn't believe it.
I know.
I couldn't believe
And
it.
then we all heard it, too. 'Cause
Right.
I was like...
She said it more than once.
Yeah.
She said it more than once.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard her personally
I have
say it.
reassigned it.
Maybe twice.
I am now done.
It has been reassigned. And I support you in that regard. I personally am not going to do it.
I barely do my own makeup. I'm not going to do someone else's when they're dead.
I had to get somebody to teach me. So it's not my area of expertise. Hey, you want me to write a will? I can do it. You want me to go to traffic court for you? I can do it. You want me to whatever?
Bling,
yes,
bling.
I can do it.
I know.
That? No. I don't want to touch a dead person. No. And you know, it's just hire a skilled professional people. Don't torture your children and make them believe they have to do your makeup. That's bad, right?
No, I know. For sure.
Okay, so that's outrageous comment number 1. There's like a series of outrageous comments that I tried to get back to it to let her go down that hole a little bit more, but nope.
We've all moved
you cut me
on.
off.
Oh, moved on.
You cut me off. But that's okay, because she comes back around later on in the meal. Okay, so another thing that your mother repeatedly talks about is what it's like to get old, right? And God bless her, she does have a lot of maladies. She has, like, her hips bother her. She fell off a ladder in 2004 and broke a bunch of bones in her back, so she has, like, screws in her back, and she has pain from that.
Yeah, did something with her shoulder, broke her shoulder or something. Yeah.
So when I say she has reason to complain about pain and things like that, being in pain, for sure she does. Now, generally speaking, she is a pretty healthy person.
Yeah.
She takes very few medications.
Yep.
She is not in any kind of chronic distress all the time. Just she has her basic pain, and she takes a leave for it, and that helps her, et cetera, et cetera. Okay? So she complains a lot about being old. And this kind of starts her down this path where she makes the next comment that I find to be very outrageous. Okay. I couldn't believe it.
This should be good. Let's see.
It's never a dull moment. Well, before she makes the big outrageous comment, she kind of is, I don't know why. Maybe it is because it's close to Mother's Day. She's kind of like still in that mentality of, oh, mothers, you should be talking to your mother and this, that, and the other. And so we're actually talking about Erin calling you, right? Because Erin calls you and talks to you every day and lets you know when she's driving home and that kind of thing. And Caitlin, too. The girls call you. Well, we were joking about sometimes Erin would call you, like when you were going to school and finishing your degree, and you'd be in the middle of something, and she'd forget, and she'd call you, hey, I'm to talk to you about this and whatever. And so we were joking about that, and your mother had this to say. So this is before she gets to the next outrageous comment.
I was like,
Be happy she thinks of you.
yes.
Oh, that's Erin, right?
Okay, and that's Ron killed a fruit fly right
I know. I saw that. I know.
So she says, okay, be happy she thinks of you, right? Okay, so, and here I am on my end of the table, and I'm thinking to myself, whoa, she's having some kind of moment in her mind, right? But then she goes on, and she gets to the point where she says this.
So, yeah, she calls a lot.
Have her call you.
Yeah.
And then that way the two of you can talk to each other all day long.
Nobody wants to talk to old people, really.
Well, you got a point there, but...
Okay, wait, did you hear what she said?
No one wants to talk to old people, really. Like, what?
I couldn't believe it, and she keeps going.
True. It is true. It is true.
Why is that?
Because what conversation can we talk about?
Good point.
We don't go on vacations. We don't see nothing new. Every day is pretty much.
You could go to the movies, see a movie, and then you come back and you say,
There's
hey,
a
I saw
thought.
this movie, and then you tell us about the movie.
There's an idea.
No, that's not good. You could go to a new restaurant and come back and say, hey, we ate at this new restaurant. This is what we got. No.
No, we are. I'm gonna go out.
Yeah, that's when I point to my dad and go, but he would go. Why wouldn't you go? He wants to go out.
And he's like, yeah.
yeah.
And your
I
mother's
would.
like,
I'd like to go
no.
out for dinner. I'd like to go see a movie, you know? And she's like, nah, I don't feel like it. Well, you just said
I know.
nobody wants to talk to someone because they don't do anything all day. So go do something. It doesn't
Right.
take any effort to sit either in a movie theater or at your house.
Or
you
at a
know?
restaurant where somebody's coming
Or
to
at
you
a restaurant.
at your table and bringing you something delicious to eat that's
Right.
not overcooked.
Right. Well, or stuff that you just never eat. I mean, you've got 3 meals a day, right?
Right.
If you go to an Indian restaurant or something foreign to you, right?
Try
if you
something new.
If you
Right.
didn't like it, there's always another meal coming right after it.
Right.
You know, I mean,
Well, we keep talking about it. We go pretty far in depth into this conversation.
We are. I'm gonna go
He would go.
out. I'm
he
gonna
wants to go out to see a
so
movie and go out to dinner.
I'm gonna go out just so when somebody calls me.
No, you go
I can
out so
talk
that
about-
you don't sit around in the house doing nothing, not seeing anybody, and then
No,
complaining that you're
the
lonely.
thing about not doing nothing
Wow.
is not quite that.
But you go out to lunch.
Wow.
You put like Ken and I were
Yeah.
like, okay, you know what? The girls aren't here.
Okay, now we keep talking about going out and enjoying the world, enjoying yourself,
things
right?
outside of the house.
Right.
So every Thursday we go, and if there's something going on, then we'll move it to Friday. Okay, and then this way, at least we're going out. We're not just sitting in the house all day long. Go to work and then come home, and then go to work and then come home, and then go to work and then come home, and then go to work and then come home.
That's fine.
And then at
That's
least
fine. That
you can
works
say,
for
oh
you.
yeah,
That works for you.
That works for you.
And
But
it worked for me when I was young.
No, it didn't.
Now I'm okay
Now you're
with what I
old.
got. Now I'm old.
She doesn't want to go out.
83 years old.
83? I thought you were 88.
A little half-hearted laughter.
Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna kill you.
But so there she is. She's back on that same
the
track.
whole reason why we even brought that up is because she's like, nobody wants to talk to us because, okay, So change the situation.
Right.
You know, that's all. And it's not like you're learning, I don't know, a new skill. You're just hopping in the car and going somewhere where you might actually think is fun. So just an added benefit to other people going, oh, where'd you go? How'd you see? You know,
Right.
is that. But the actual benefit is you going out, you experiencing new food, you going to see a movie, you meeting someone
Go
while
out and
you
see
were
the
there.
world. Yes, go out
you
and see the
know?
world. Yes,
Yeah.
participate.
Kind of like when she was talking about that Bollywood dancing. Oh my gosh, this is so great.
I've never seen it before. I
I've
can't
never seen
believe it.
before. Like it was a new invention. But I'm like,
It's a
no,
flying
that-
machine.
Bollywood.
It's-
That's been around.
It's a horseless
forever.
carriage.
I don't know.
But it was very funny to listen to.
But
She's
that works for you and not for me.
Right.
Okay. All right. Just throwing it out there.
very funny to listen to her. I will say this. I know that she prefers not to go out to eat. She doesn't like eating out.
Yeah.
And I can't say that I've ever known her to enjoy going out to eat. And
No,
your
never.
dad loves it.
Yeah.
And when she does go, when we all go out to eat, I'll just have some ice cream. Or I'll just have just one egg and a piece of toast. I don't really eat that much, no. Just one egg.
I know.
I'll have water. I don't want this. I don't want that. And the reason she's told me is because she's afraid of how the food is prepared.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She gets
I
afraid.
don't know. I don't know who's back there. I don't
Right.
know who's touching this or, scratching that and then touching this.
That's one of the reasons why she doesn't like to go to the movie theater.
That's what she's said. But you know what? She hasn't got, I don't ever, my entire life, remember her going to see one movie.
Come on.
Yes. Not one.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
with us. No.
Not with you, but I know she's gone with your dad
Yeah.
before, and she's gone with Caitlin. Caitlin took her to see La La Land.
Yeah, right. So she'll do whatever it is they want.
Right.
They've gone to the ice capades. They've gone here. They've gone to the circus. But that's only because
The girls want.
the girls wanted to do it, and they were like, "Okay, let's go."
The next thing we start talking about is, of course, you are talking about, okay, you and Ken, one thing that you do now that you're basically empty nesters is you guys go out to eat one night a week to a Mexican restaurant, right?
Right, to any restaurant, but yeah.
Yes. And so there's a particular restaurant that you guys have been going to. And I have actually been trying to figure out a way to talk about this next subject for a long time now because you guys do this all the time. And that's when you start talking about directions. Right? It is so funny. And so, of course, your dad, he's always up for going and trying something new. And as soon as you say, oh, we like to go to this particular Mexican restaurant, he's already thinking, how can I get there? Right? And so...
And Caitlin and Aaron have taken him. Well, Caitlin, I think it was Caitlin, that when my mom is gone somewhere,
takes him out to a different
takes
kind
him
of
out
restaurant.
to a different, yeah,
Right.
he loves Japanese.
Oh, yeah. Well, we get to that a little bit later on
Yeah.
in the evening. But first, I think we need to listen in on the two of you talking about directions because you and your dad are the same. It's so funny. Okay, here we go.
Like, or anywhere.
Which
It just so
Mexican
happens.
restaurant?
You know the one by Lowe's Food on Capitol Boulevard?
No.
Julio's or
Don Julio's.
Don
Oh, I
Julio's?
didn't even know there's one.
I don't know. They have a bar there too.
Supermarket.
Yeah, I
You know
know
the-
what it is.
Oh, that's what...
It's
they
right
have
on the
they have a
right
bar.
hand side. I know. Not a bar.
Where is the pizza place too?
What pizza place?
You say in Harris Theory, right?
No, I said Lowe's.
Boulevard and
Lowe's.
I said Lowe's.
Lowe's.
or Lowe's.
Yeah.
Lowe's.
Yeah.
Anyway,
oh, I know
Lowe's.
which you are.
Either way, it could
Yeah.
be there, it could
I
be
know.
anywhere.
Well, how about that Monday night dinner conversation? A little picante, am I right? And not for nothing, I love talking to old people, especially Al and Lita. I have never been so entertained in my whole life as I have been at Monday night dinner. Well, maybe with the exception of going to court. That's pretty entertaining too. But this is real, live, high-quality comedy entertainment that you just can't buy entertainment like this, right? And I am thankful for it every day. And who cares if I have to choke down some rubber beef stroganoff? Not me. I'll eat almost whatever they put in front of me, as long as I get the privilege to sit at their table and hear their stories and all the random, outrageous things they say. So much fun. They're my people. I just love them. I really do. And I cannot wait for next week's dinner and part 2 of this super fun episode where we enjoy some more Spanish Keystone Cops directions and some fun comments about gardening. This has been a public service announcement from the American Beef Committee reminding you not to eat gray meat. I hope you enjoyed listening and sharing a laugh or two with us. Stay tuned for more Everyday Macaroni adventures on future podcast episodes. And if you want to see some pictures of us, you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook by searching @EverydayMacaroni or #EverydayMacaroni. And now you can also watch us on YouTube. Just search Everyday Macaroni and our new channel will pop up. If you want to shop for some fun macaroni merch, head over to everydaymacaroni.com. Don't forget, if you have a blended family story to share, email us at info@everydaymacaroni.com and put the word share in the subject line. You can also call us on our Macaroni Fun Phone at 919-729-2043. Your story might end up on a future episode, and how fun would that be? Super fun. Finally, don't forget to give us a good review and download your favorite episodes. A share would be nice too. The more interaction we get for the podcast, the more episodes we can post. Again, thanks for listening, and join us for the next episode of
Every Day